Good morning.
Thanks.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us all today. Thank you, committee members. Wow, that's a beautiful view. What is that? Something blurry. Oh, there we go. It's Joe Jean walking back. Hey, good morning. So good morning, everyone. Let's get the meeting started here. We'll get the meeting started at 9:03 a.m. 9:03 a.m. The first item on the agenda, of course, is the approval of today's agenda, which is 8/3/2023. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. That was Patrick and Joe Jean. All right, the first thing we're going to do is move to our attendees that are here, and we're going to start with our tree first because those typically go quick. So item number 6 we'll take first, which is 20 Sweetclover Circle. It's a tree removal request, item 6. And can I get, what's that? I'm sorry, I can't hear. Someone have a comment?
I'm not sure that person is having trouble with his mic. David Sportko.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Hi, David.
Hi.
Did anyone have any comments or questions on item number 6? And why can't I find it?
It looks like you said it was missed in the initial application. How was it missed? It just I just wonder how that happened.
We just didn't. We just didn't. I don't know. We didn't consider that it was gonna be that close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this part of the original arborist report, or did you add this later?
I had to ask the arborist to come back out and look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no other questions.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Can I get a second?
second,
That's Joe Jean. Thank you.
yes,
All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, very good. You've been approved. Okay, next we're going to do item number 7, which is Bramble 15 Bramble Way. Also tree removal, has an arborist report. And I have to apologize, for some reason, I do not have that with me. I had them because I took them with me. And I already approved it and on my own notes and read it. But I don't have it sitting here. So if anyone else has any comments or questions on that, item number 7, and I'm going to take a quick look at that over here for that while you're reviewing that.
Yeah, my question was, are these all on the owner's property, or is this some other property also?
He owns multiple lots up there. They're
Okay.
all his. I think he
Okay.
owns 3.
Okay, I apologize. I found it, left them on the couch. Okay, item number 7, right here. Okay, I'm sorry, Daniel, I missed your, did he satisfy your question?
Yeah, I just wondered if it was all the owner's property or if there were other properties involved.
Okay, any other questions or comments on that?
I'll move to approve,
Okay, that's Joe Jean. And can I get a second?
I'll second.
Wayne does second. Yep.
That's Joe Jean, and was it Daniel or Wayne?
Wayne.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, thank you very much. You've been approved. Oh, gosh, just broke my darn pencil. Okay, now we're gonna go down to item number 11, which is 18 Windward Drive, the roof replacement. I had no issues with it myself. You had any comments or questions?
Which one is this? I'm,
Item number 11, 18 Windward Drive. It's a roof replacement. You guys have,
To approve.
okay, that's Joe Jean. Can I
And
get a
Wayne
second?
just second.
And Wayne? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, you've been approved. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 13, 45 Deer Run Lane. A roof replacement as well. I have notes on this one. So the notes I had, and that owner is here on item number 13. So a question I had was on your metal chimney. I saw that your chimney right now is like way higher than it needs to be, like 4 feet higher. But I just wanted you to make you aware that the rule is 2 foot higher than any combustible within 10 feet. And then we also have a guideline in our policy that we don't want anything exposed over 36 inches of metal pipe. It's supposed to be in a chase or a chimney like you have now. And so I was curious about what your plans were on that and how high your chimney was going to be. If you could unmute them and have them join us, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So thank you for the clarification. The sketch that we had provided was not to scale, of course, but just providing an idea of what it would appear like. And of course, we'll adhere to any of the requirements that the committee has.
Okay, yeah, I apologize too. I see you have two things on here, 2 items. You have one I see was the roof, right?
Correct.
And the other one was the chimney. Okay, so,
The roof, and then we have the tree removal as well.
oh yeah, that's up top, right? You're on yeah, you're up top on that. Okay, so let's so I'm down here on the bottom one. So we're gonna do the bottom one first, which is where are you here? Which is item number 13. Let's look at that one first and then we'll jump back up. So item number 13, we're out talking about your roof replacement.
Yes.
And then I had notes on that chimney. So my questions were on the chimney. So the roof, I was good with that. Does anyone else on the committee have interest in his roofing material or questions or concerns?
No,
about that?
good.
Okay. And then so my next question was on that chimney. So your chimney right now, and I assume they built it that high because maybe the fireplace had smoking issues. It's one of the reasons why you typically would extend a chimney longer than it needed to be. So in your thought, do you use that fireplace now?
Yes, we have
Is it a wood burning fireplace?
a wood stove. It is.
Okay,
wood
is it going to stay a stove?
It's going to stay a stove.
Okay, and is that a closed stove like in the front, or as you open it, is it like a self-feeding kind of thing, or what is that?
It's a cast iron stove that we have an open door in the front. We can put the wood in there, but otherwise,
Half of it is tucked in the hearth in the cavity of the fireplace, and half of it is out on the hearth.
Okay, great. And then, so how much exposed chimney are you think you're going to have? The metal exposed chimney? Are you thinking the flue?
We will go by the rules of the Sudden Valley or whatever the code by Whatcom County is for that.
Okay, so when you said you were going to get rid of your rock, right? You have rock on there right now on the exterior. You're going to get rid of that.
above, above the roof.
Okay, from above the roof up. Okay, perfect. So in that case, you shouldn't have more than 2 feet or so exposed chimney, and then that's fine. The Sudden Valley thing is 3 feet or more, so 2 feet is fine. And stay within Whatcom County is going to be my recommendation on the code to make sure you're fire compliant.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
And then that would be fine with me. Did any of the other committee have questions or concerns about the chimney itself?
Yeah, so the one question I had, it's Wayne here, the NFPA rules are, you got I mean, how high is that flue right now?
Altogether from the fireplace,
Yes.
all the way to the top. 8, probably 16 feet.
Okay, so you're well clear of the NFPA chimney clearance rule. So yeah, they're at 10 feet. So you're well within that. And then are you planning to cover the exterior of that flue above your roof line, or is it just going to stay bare?
Exposed.
It's going to be exposed and strapped to the roof for stability. And it's going to be done professionally.
Yeah, you don't. What I'm suggesting is that you get it done so that you block. Obviously, you don't want water coming down, right? You want it
Definitely.
done properly.
Yeah, so this will be like a metal flue, so it'll have a spark arrestor up top. It'll have all that, and then a roof jack when it's going to be going through. So you're going to take the chimney down, and then that's why I was concerned, because your fireplace right now is on the exterior of the house, so actually built on the outside of the house.
Correct.
And so what I was wondering, if you were planning on showing like the metal pipe coming right off the top of the, let's see, you're going to expose the pipe as it comes through the roof from that point up.
Correct.
Because the stove sits in the house, and right now it must go up and then elbow through the side of the house.
It elbows out, and
Yeah.
and the new flue, will go through the chimney, of course, which will be tucked under fairly significant eave, and hopefully solve the water intrusion problem that we are having.
Okay, so then my only comment is going to be on that, and I'll have two comments. One is we brought up the 2 and 10 rule, so you'll check with Whatcom County Building Department and make sure that you're 2 foot higher than any combustible within 10 feet. And you're
Yes.
right at the peak of your roof, so you're basically going to be 2 feet higher than that. So that's going to be fine. We just want to make sure you abide by that, and then we don't want any exposed metal chimney more than 3 foot of exposed pipe. You're not
Correct.
supposed to have more than that. So as long as you abide by those 2 things, I don't see an issue with it, with your roof or your chimney.
Thank
Does
you.
Yeah, so one thing to add, Keith, is they still need a fire inspection too, right?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna get a permit. Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yep. So, okay, so can I get a motion on the table for that one, please?
Yeah, with those notes that we just mentioned, I move to approve.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Daniel. Thank you. I don't have my note thing, so I'm gonna put it here. Can I get a second?
Yeah, Wayne to second.
Wayne? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous.
What
Okay,
are the
very
notes
good.
we have on that, Pete?
Yes, well, we have the notes on there. Is it gonna have to abide by the county permit of in county fire code, which is 2 foot higher than any 10 feet within, you gotta be 2 foot higher, within 10 feet of any combustible. So county permit, and no exposed pipe more than 36 inches. So no more metal flue exposed more than 36 inches. And we were good on the roof. We had no comments on the roof. It was fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna go up to item number 5, which is also 45 Deer Run. This is for the tree removal. Oh, item number 5, I had it in there, so right here. So if you guys go ahead, have any questions or comments about the tree removal? No comments, questions? Can I get a motion then?
I move to approve.
Ms. Patrick? Can I get a second?
I second.
Daniel? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. You've been approved for that as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you guys for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Okay, that's item 5. And that was, sorry, I gotta get my check here. And number 13, okay. All right, our next one on the list, we're gonna go right down to item number 16, which is 28 Hillside Place. This is a paint color change request, and this is one we opposed, I believe, last time, and they came back with an SBA approved color this time of the, I think it's, what is it called? Some weird color, but like a reddish color. 16.
Oilcroft Copper Red.
Yeah, something, right? It had a different name to it. I remember something different, but that is, I believe, an SBA approved color. So I think we have any questions or comments on that, guys?
Yeah, one thing we looked at last time, the 4 different colors on the
Yes, sir.
bottom.
That's a good point. Yep, I remember that.
And I think Joel showed us a picture of another house similar that had that on. And that's the one that I thought looked like blocks.
Yes, it did look like blocks. Yeah, different, like building blocks, different colors. So what is the proposed location of these colors?
They're numbered on the,
Yeah, it's pretty
Photo.
much the same. They just changed the type of paint that they've used.
Oh, I see them back here. Yep. So what are you proposing, Patrick?
That it be limited to 3 colors.
Okay. 3 colors. Yeah, the one we saw before actually showed the colors on there. Joel, can you bring that up real quick? Are you able to do that?
you know, in defense of that, I mean, the 3 other colors are very muted and would probably be almost minimal depending on the time of day and the lighting, the way the light hits it. I don't have it's kind of a bold experiment, but I think I think it could work.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's Wayne here. I don't see an issue because 2 of the colors are similar. They're both gray, and they're pitched at the corners of the house where it's darker. So you're not going to get much of a deception.
Okay.
I'll move to approve as submitted.
Okay. Where did I do it? Oh, shoot, here we go.
Joel, did you find that other house that had these similar colors?
No, I didn't go by and look at it, but I think John Gordon
Oh, maybe it was
showed
John.
it to us on the last meeting, didn't he?
Yeah, I do remember seeing, I don't remember where it came from, but I do remember seeing that. And it was, you know, it was a departure from the other houses in the neighborhood, but I liked it. I think it was interesting.
Okay, we have a motion on the table, a move to approve by Joe Jean.
I'll second.
Okay, that's Daniel. Can all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No opposed. Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, item 16 has been approved. Okay, we're gonna go down to item number 18, 25 Wisteria Lane, privacy screen. I believe we reviewed this before and asked them to come back with a little more detailed information on lattice, because none of us are fans of lattice unless it's something that's going to be of solid variety that doesn't sag after a couple of summers and winters and can be maintained adequately. And it looks like they come back with the intent of how they want to build it. And so is there any questions or comments on that?
To me, it looks like a substantial lattice that I think answers the complaint that we had about the cheap tacky lattice that we see sometimes tacked up on the houses. But this looks like a substantial part of the architecture, so I like it. I know they're actually just down the street from me, and they've been doing a lot of work on the rest of the house, and I think it'll work.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, can we get a motion then?
I move to approve.
Patrick? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that's Daniel. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, before we, oh, they are painting it to match the deck. Okay, so that's okay. We're good with that. Okay, so that sounded like, any opposed? All right, so that's unanimous. Okay, that's been approved. And I want to thank you for coming back with that design and a little more detail on that. So thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. Okay, that was item 18. Let's move on to item number 19. It's 4 Little Strawberry. We're replacing the front porch. Item number 19.
I'll move to approve.
Okay, that's Georgine.
I second.
Was that Rich?
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick, okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, you've been approved. Okay, item number. Let's go to item number 24 first, because we might have questions on the other one, although I doubt it. Item 24 is 24 North Summit Drive, and that's to replace the deck. Missing deck, change the decking rail materials, depth of structure replaced is due to damage, as well as address any issues of rot in the area of the deck meets house. Existing wood to be replaced with PVC decking boards, TimberTech, or like existing wood railing to be replaced with black aluminum railing, PVC top railing deck to match, decking materials, see attached B, pictures of existing deck included for reference. So they also note on here, replacement deck will be the exact same size as the existing deck. So no change into it, just basically replacing the rotten deck with a more upgraded material. Any questions or comments on that?
So it's only the railing, and the railing top will be PVC, or is the railing top on top of the PVC is wood?
The railing top on top of the aluminum railing will be PVC, and it will match the decking boards on the deck itself.
Right. Yeah, the picture looks like it's got wood on top. That's why I was just asking for the clarification. And then your support beams will stay the same, right? No change to structure.
Correct.
Unless they're
Yes.
rotten.
Unless they're rotten,
Yeah.
but it'll be like for like. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I
Move to approve.
Okay, Patrick
And Wayne to second.
and Wayne. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, very good. You've been approved. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to item number 23, 24 High Cliff Lane. It's a new construction. They want to enclose their basement. Item 23.
Good morning. This is Jeff here. So
Good
if you have any
morning.
questions,
Good morning.
good morning.
Okay, yep. I heard Georgine was getting ready to say something there, but anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns on this project?
Yeah, we went out and looked at it, and it seems like a good project, a real good addition to the home. A lot of it was I'm happy that Joel has looked at it, because there are a lot of structural questions I would have that I would not be able to answer. But the idea of enclosing that seems fine with me. I like the plan.
Well, let me be clear. I haven't officially looked at this because it doesn't. It's a tier 1 edition, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I would say that I would defer to you on a lot of these
Oh, yeah,
questions,
okay.
but
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not sure how involved you are.
I defer to the engineers on the structural components, but because it's a tier 1 edition, it doesn't require a preliminary review. If you're not meeting any of the bullet points for the addition criteria, they're not raising a roof, they're not pushing down a wall, they're not doing anything on the driveway or the right of way. So
Adding some windows.
I'm just here to provide details if you want them.
Yeah, you guys got any other questions or comments on that? Other than the only question I did have, it said it was gonna have only exterior access only. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what is the use of the space gonna be?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, basically, we've been challenged over the years with only having a single bathroom when we have family and friends that visit. So the idea is to not only improve the appearance of our house, because really it's looked unfinished from the backside the whole time we've been here 21 years. But we've been challenged with only having one bath in our house, raising 3 kids with one bathroom. And now we're to the point where we can invest some money. So yeah, when we have family and friends visit, we can offer, their own bedroom and bathroom. So, and we didn't want to punch out through our first floor down with stairs because we can't afford to lose that square footage. So that's why we're just going with the exterior entrance.
So then, of course, my concern is, I would hope that all our concern is that this isn't gonna be some just instant rental or, an apartment.
No, it's just it's just an offering for family and friends, basically, or, our kids. Yeah.
It did seem, we spoke to him, and it did seem pretty onerous to try to put some stairway from the interior of the house into this new space. And I think we were satisfied with his description of the usage.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, well, I can put an elevator in there. I sell elevators. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh, we thought about a fire pole, actually.
That could be fun, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns, guys?
Yeah, so essentially, when we looked at it there, Keith, it's deemed as a in-law suite, right? So they'll have to get the county permits for that. And then obviously, because there's going to be occupants in part of the space, one part of the space, maybe 1/3 of the total development is just for exterior storage. So like a garden shed, but it's just enclosed space, but no occupants. So they'll probably have to get definitely permitting from the county for that, and then fire coded because it's going to be a living space. It looks like there was already substantial structural work. There's a lot of cut and fill to build up that platform. That house was probably very challenging from a development perspective because of the steep slope. It's almost greater than 70% grade there, and there's no impact from neighbors viewing the windows from below. Like they're non-visible because we actually drove down to the bottom there. You can't even see the bottom half of the house. So the windows would not be a visible issue to other neighbors. So from that aspect, it's advisable to leave windows there for lighting.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, the county has all of my documentation. So yes, I am, whether or not I can move forward is still pending based upon their response. But, I've gone through the pre-screening with them, and they requested, all the structural engineering package, and that delayed me a couple months to get all that done. But they've got all my information. So I'm waiting on their feedback. So.
Okay,
So
guys,
it'll all be permitted.
can we get a motion?
I move to approve.
Patrick? Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second. Rich.
That's Rich. Okay, and then of course with county permitting, we know you're in for that already. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. All right, very good. You've been approved. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move down to Joel. You're there and ready now. So item number 25 is 144 Sun Valley Drive. It's a new construction. I'll let Joel talk about it for a quick second, but I went by again this morning just to see if anything had changed because it's not ready to be even looked at yet from an ACC standpoint in my mind. But I went by again this morning to see if anything had changed, and nothing had changed. It's still nothing's ribbon, nothing's staked, nothing's ready. But Joel, I didn't know if there's a couple things you want to discuss while you're here. Let's do that.
Sure. Get things up here.
I don't want to take a lot of your time because, like I said, it's not ready, but.
Sure. So this one, this is Chad Brewer.
I know Chad.
I don't think he's here on the meeting today.
He's not here. Yeah, he knows. I'm sure he knows it's not ready. So he's like, yeah, wishful thinking.
He's a busy guy. He's got big projects happening down south. So there are some, let me get my share screen up here. So we were pending, awaiting some revisions on the plans.
Did he ever get back to you, by the way, with his revisions?
No, we do not have any revisions yet. I included in my report all the things we're asking for, so they align with the policies. Some of these are minor things, showing the setbacks to the eaves, proposed finished grade each wall, location of exterior light fixtures. One of the bigger requirements is to show a driveway section.
Yeah.
The slope indicated and the elevations at the garage slab and the roadway. Looking at, when I'm measuring it, if I'm looking at the road edge elevation, is 100 feet, according to the topo lines, and then the garage slab elevation that's listed as 111. That's on his elevations page A2. That gives us a vertical rise of 11 feet over a horizontal distance of about 41 feet. And then, so that was the driveway at 26.8%, right? And the maximum is 25 without a variance. So I recommended a variance or find a way to lessen the slope. We still don't have that section, nor do we have a variance or anything indicating what his plans are.
Yeah.
And I was also out there and saw that the trees weren't ribboned and house footprint wasn't staked out.
Yeah, so my motion would, or my suggestion would be we just defer it, until we get the rest of the information and actually can go out to the site and take a look at what they're proposing. Take a quick look at it conceptually, just, to look at it, see if you guys had any other comments. We might want to get back to Chad beforehand, before our next meeting, that he might want to address at that time. But everything looked okay to me, but I'll let you guys, you look at it and make any comments you want to.
Well, I noticed one thing on the body color, that's not an approved color from the color chart, but I don't have any problem with it if that's what they want.
Okay. Yeah, and the only problem I had is the retaining wall. So the retaining wall can't say exposed concrete like that. It could be exposed aggregate, but not exposed concrete. So that would be a comment I had. The lighting looked good. The roof looked fine. I'm good with Patrick on the colors. Real subdued, but yeah, I'm fine with the colors.
I put this in my comments too, to cover the retaining wall and at least, frost the glass on the lighting or choose a different light fixture.
I mean, I would suggest that the exposed concrete kind of works with this design. So if we need to require a variance for that, I would certainly consider that.
Okay. That's good to know.
Is there any site plan that shows the elevation, like I'm looking at their mock-up, but there's no profile view, right?
I think they're still designing it.
I mean, it looks good on paper to mock it up. It looks like they just took a model.
Yeah.
And they've slapped it together and but they didn't show where the graded line was. So I'm trying to imagine from that first site plan there, how steep is that slope and what are they cutting and what are they filling, right? Like, are they pushing the house deep inside? Do they have to excavate? Like,
I really honestly, I was kind of being funny, but I really believe they're designing it right now as we're having this meeting. I think, like you said, this is a nice footprint of a home they've used probably a few times, and they're going to fit it in here, or hopefully it fits in here. But I think they are still trying to figure out how, because the elevation on the drive, even at 26.8 would be amazing to me. Because it seems much steeper than that.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know. That's why I say we defer it until they come back with an actual, we'll have more defined, probably details in the next week or so on how they're gonna make it work themselves. It's just my guess. But Joel, unless you had other comments on that, do you have more information than that on the site?
No, and I think one of the was it Wayne who was talking about so things that we look for is having the existing grade, or sorry, the finished grade elevation marked out of each wall, and we don't know that, and I called that out in my report also.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just following up with you, is that this is nice, except we have no perspective on where are the trees sitting, where is it sitting with respect to the other houses in the area, because Sudden Valley is just wallowing, right? It's all over the place. Like you'd be down a hill, up a hill, there's hardly any flat sections, right? And the other perspective is like there's another development that we drove by the other day that I wasn't sure, but I'm wondering if they're already excavating already.
On this one?
Yeah.
No, they haven't started on this. I was out there again last night, or in the evening, and it is steep in the front here, and then it tapers off in the back. Once you
Kind of a nice building, huh?
There's houses on either sides of it.
Yeah, and where they're excavating is at Harbor View. I think you see it off Sudden Valley Drive or Lake. What is it, Lake Whatcom? Yeah, I guess you can come down the front, and then you see off.
Oh, those trees that are coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's something else.
Yeah, the truck and trailers parked off to the side, and then I drove by the front of it yesterday. Yeah, they're just taking everything down to Sudden Valley. But I don't know. That was weird. But anyways, yeah. So this one, like I said, I think we need to defer it. But I was just looking to see if anybody had any comments or questions, other than I know we need additional information. That's why we're deferring it. And I think that, like I
Looks
said,
like a lot of lot coverage with that house.
it does. It does. I have to agree with that.
It is right, like 0.1% under the maximum.
Yeah, it's a big house. So the lot is fairly empty, though.
34.9%. Yeah, they're right. They're maximizing it.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. It doesn't seem like it's designed to fit in with the existing landscape, and it's a big house that they're going to squeeze on there any way they can, I think.
Well, that's why I go back to like Wayne's comment. It almost looks like it is a nice home. I'm sure that a great house they've used before, and they're going to try to make it fit in there instead of the other way around, right?
Yeah, and it's our mission to keep an eye on that kind of thing. You can't just plop a big box on top of Sudden Valley property. I mean,
yeah, it's actually a decent lot. So there's not a lot of trees in the center, which is odd because most of the time people call clear cutting, but they're not. It just happens to be a lot of the darn trees are in the center where the houses are going, and this one it's nice and clear in the center. It's fairly flat up top. Maybe even go down a little in the back, but it's just a heck of a climb to get to it. And I agree, Daniel. I thought the house seemed a little large for the lot, and I was curious about that because the house next door is this will be sitting a little higher, I believe, than that one. So it will be overwhelming, or could be. And we need to see that. We don't see the existing residences.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I guess you do slightly on there, but we see no elevations. Like Wayne was saying. So
yeah, well, we'll send it back for more information.
Well, they do show it. So it goes up in the back, doesn't it? Yeah, 118, 114. So it's fairly flat though. Not too bad. Yeah. All right. So the motion on the table would be defer.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's unanimous. Okay. That's been deferred. Pending further information, clarification.
Did you make that motion?
I did.
Thank you.
Well, hang on. I got a message from President Trump. Wow, private email. Yeah, right. It's funny. It just came across on the phone. You have a message from President Trump. That's funny. Don't call me. Okay, we're gonna go back up. We did item number 1, obviously. So we're gonna, that's all the attendees here. Is that correct? No attendees
Yes.
left? Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're gonna go up to item number 2. And thank you, Joel, for your time. If you want to hang out, you surely can, but I appreciate you taking your time this morning for that deferred one. Okay, item number 2 is a consent agenda for the approval of the ACC meeting minutes for 7/20/23, and those were sent out electronically. So I have to admit, I didn't see those until this morning, and I have not read them. So did anybody have any questions or comments about the meeting minutes for 7/20/23? Any change, corrections? No? Okay, can I get a motion then?
Move to approve.
Okay, that's Daniel. And a second on that,
Second,
Patrick? Okay, and all in favor of those minutes?
Aye.
And so Rich and Keith will abstain because Rich isn't there and I didn't read them. So Rich and Keith abstain. Okay. That's done. Okay, item number 3 is 11 Fairway Lane. It's a tree removal request. Actually, 1 removal and limbing. Item number 3. Non-native pine double trunk. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't look at that. So yeah, I had you guys have any questions or comments on that? Not that
No.
they're here to answer, but. Okay, can I get a motion?
I
Move
moved to,
to approve.
Okay, Patrick, can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Daniel. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, unanimous. Okay, item number 4, 42 Grandview tree removal. This one has an arborist report attached to it. Item number 4. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, that's Wayne. Can I get a second?
second,
Thank you, Patrick. All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, item number 8, 110 Sudden Valley Drive, a tree removal request. Item 8. Diane, great job on the agenda package, by the way. I really appreciate that. Making it so much easier to find everything, and it's nice. Okay, item number 8. The tree lost its top 2 years ago, has since died. Oh yeah, the woodpeckers were working on it steadily this year, and the tree may not last the winter.
Did you guys
I've
see
got one of
the
those too.
woodpecker?
Oh, yeah, there he is.
He
Yeah.
caught him in the act. He was so excited.
I didn't see
Email
that
that
before.
later.
That's funny.
That's good documentation.
Yeah, you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns?
do we want to destroy their home?
Yeah, yeah, leave the tree. All right, so can I get a motion?
I moved to, approve.
Yeah, and I'll second.
That's Patrick and who is that? Rich?
Rich.
Patrick and Rich, all in favor?
aye,
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Item number
Look.
8. Okay,
So Keith, the only
Yes.
comment there, the woodpecker is gonna pick on another tree somewhere down the block.
well, I think that's why you were saying you want to save your house. You leave the tree, let the woodpecker peck on that. You get rid of the tree, he's gonna go to your house next.
He's gonna come to my house because I have a woodpecker tearing apart my fascia boards right now.
I
Me
do
too.
too.
And a bee's nest, and yeah, it's trifecta this week. It's crazy.
We've
What do
got
you-
the house next door to ours, it's vacant, and we've got squirrels and flickers and everything.
Oh
with it.
my gosh,
So at least it protects our house.
right? It's the buffer house.
Yeah.
You're throwing bait, bird seed on the other house. Okay, item number 9 is 5 Western Lane. This is a tree removal request. And so I made a note on here, cedar should stay, but highly recommend an arborist. All right, so now item number 9, let's see. Item number 9. Oh, this is a cluster. So this is, if you guys saw, I'm sure you did, the birch trees and a cedar tree, and it's a cluster is right. It's like, what do you do with that? It almost looks like they're asking for recommendation. I either need all removed or the birch removed if it doesn't harm the cedar stability. So to me, it almost seems like they need really an arborist report to recommend to them what they need to do or what's the best way to salvage the trees, which one's more salvageable. But for me, the cedar was in my mind, but I don't know. Rich, you're more knowledgeable about trees.
As I say, the birch trees, I can't remember how big they were. I drove by this house, but as long as they're smaller than 10 inches in diameter, he can just take them out.
I believe they were.
Yeah, they can all just be cut down. He doesn't need permission to do that because they're small trees. They're not considered major trees by the watershed.
Did you say 10 inches?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
deciduous trees, 10 inches in diameter or
Oh.
smaller. And
Okay.
evergreens are 12 inches in diameter and smaller. You don't need a permit to remove those. You just need ACC's blessing for trees that are going to affect the appearance. And so I just know that birch trees grow tall and skinny and break when they get old.
Yeah.
So that's what I know. I've been hit by 3 over the years. So yeah, I mean, my opinion is if he wants to take them out, he can do that. It was a cluster, so he can take those out. And he doesn't have to get a permit based on what I saw.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's based on what I saw too. I would see the same thing. And it sounded like they didn't know if they wanted to save the birch or the cedar. And to me, the cedar would be the one we're saving, but.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
what I would
fine.
try to save is the cedar.
All right, so that would be our so then really, I don't know that we want to give that recommendation. Maybe we want an arborist or recommend to them that they get an arborist, but we could.
Well, we could just approve it and recommend, hey, you might have an arborist just so you don't destroy the tree, but we can give them the approval.
Okay,
Because I don't want to force somebody to pay $400 or $500 for an arborist if they could have just chopped them down with a saw.
okay, so I don't want to be wrong either. So I've had arborists come out at my house like 3 times now, and it's only cost me like about $150 each time. And I've had numerous trees done. So I'm just curious, am I right on the arborist report? Because I do recommend that a lot, that people get an arborist just because it seems relatively inexpensive for a tree. It seems like it's worth it. But if it's $450, then that's getting questionable.
Yeah, I've heard different amounts. I've heard people
Okay.
paying as much as $400 or $500. That's why I use that
Wow.
as my gauge. If you're getting it for less than that, you're probably getting a deal.
Yeah, we
Maybe
gotta
you
start
should
shopping.
recommend an arborist.
What's
Yeah, right. Given the name of the
Recommend your
arborist.
arborist.
No
We used to have a
advertising.
list of arborists with admin.
Yes.
There was a list at one point.
Yeah, Keith's probably a repeat customer. That's why.
Yeah. The same trees over and over again. And the harvest is horrible. They keep falling down. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, okay, so the Rebecca.
So whether we do a arborist report or not, is there anything we wouldn't approve of what he's asking?
Well, that's for me, I would not recommend cutting down the cedar tree. I would recommend that they would save the cedar tree and get rid of the birch. That was my opinion. But again, I'm not an arborist, so I hate recommending something that could be wrong. But that's what I was thinking in my head when I
Well,
looked.
is he saying that there's a hole of rot in the cedar tree, but it's starting in the birch tree? Is the cedar tree affected by that?
So that's the problem.
The rot says it's in the birch tree. It says it's starting in the base of the birch. And he says he either needs all removed or the birch removed. So we can just approve the removal of the birch. I either need all removed or the birch removed. So I would just say, yeah, approve the birch. That's my opinion.
I would agree with that.
Okay. So that's Rich. And then Daniel would be a second on that. So then the comment would be, we're actually approving to remove the birch with county permit.
No,
Not
Oh,
approving.
no,
the
it's
You
cedar.
don't need county
They're
permit.
they're
for that.
insignificant, what's considered insignificant trees.
yeah, not a significant
Yeah.
harm to the watershed.
I hate calling a tree insignificant because I imagine how the tree feels. Give me time, I'll be great.
So
But,
for the cedar, if he wants to proceed with the cedar too, we would want to see an arborist report.
He'd need to resubmit everything.
Yeah,
If he
you
wants
would have to
do the cedar,
resubmit it
'cause
that
We're only
time.
approving the birch.
Okay,
So are we all good with that?
I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so-
then the motion on the table is moved to approve by Rich with a second from Dan, and we're approving to remove the birch.
And we're rejecting the cedar, correct?
Correct. Remove birch only. How about we say that? Only at this time. How's that?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
All right, so that's the motion on the table, and all in favor with that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, that's unanimous. And that was item number 9. Okay, now, sorry, I wrote it on here. That was Rich. And Daniel, and unanimous. Okay, item number 10 is 19 Par Lane. It's a exterior alteration request. They want to add a generator to the most inconspicuous spot on their property. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Describe inconspicuous because there's a property on Windward that you could clearly see Generac written all over on the side of the house. It's like,
Well, he
So-
said behind the garage and out of view from the street.
yeah, well, this one is perfect, but the person that put the one on Windward, you can clearly see it as you drive out of the along the street. You can see Generac just written right on the side on the corner.
Oh.
They put the
Yes, and you know what, Wayne? I think those people actually requested to put a screen, if I remember correctly, if it's the one I'm thinking about, up on in
Yep.
front of that at one point, and they were denied the screen. And they were told to put, I think, vegetation or something, but they wanted to put a little screen up in front of that, which I thought was a good idea. And sometimes it helps with noise as well, but no, I understand what you're saying. That's not good.
So is that a cautionary tale for this one that we need to ask for a screen or?
Well, we always recommend, vegetative screening, but you know how that is, deer. Yesterday, actually, I was doing my ACC tour because I've been slammed with stuff, so I did it yesterday. And I got a ring notification. I look at the ring thing and there was deer eating hydrangeas, not the ones that I put those other ones in the garden. And by the way, they're doing great. They're actually looking really well. But my hydrangeas I had out front, the deer ate them by the time I got here. And I yelled at them with the microphone. They took off running and they came back. And by the time I got here to get them out of here, they ate the hydrangeas. They're all flat. And one of the hanging baskets leveled it off. So I was like, gosh darn it.
They got me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so they pretty much eat anything. So it's hard when you say vegetative screening. So the only thing I found is these they don't like fuzzy leaf plants. So I put fuzzy leaf plants in front of the hydrangeas, but now they just go over the top of the fuzzy leaves to get to the hydrangeas. So that's not working either. So I don't know. We do recommend screening, but typically vegetative screening. So we could always see that.
Yeah, the other choice would be is they can put their units there, but instead of seeing the advertiser or the vendor's name, just paint it or whatever, or just instead of Generac written all over the side, be nice to be seeing color that's matching the side of the house.
Well, I don't think you'll be able to see the generator from the street. The way the
No,
house is that way back.
He
there.
was more concerned about the neighbor.
No, I'm not talking about this particular application. I'm okay with this one. You should drive down Windward and you could clearly see Generac written all over. It reminds you to go buy a generator. That's what I'm getting at.
Then you stop and you find out the guy works for Generac.
At Costco.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, shoot. Okay, so can I get a motion on this for 19 Far Lane?
I'll
I
move
move
to
to
approve.
approve.
All right, I heard Joe Jean first, so I'm gonna go with Joe Jean. And the second on that
Second.
was Patrick. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, so that's unanimous. Okay, that was item number 10. Okay, item number 12, 6 Orchard Court. So landscaping, and they sent some existing additional landscaping plans. Hopefully you guys had time to look at that. I just viewed them this morning myself. I apologize again for being so behind, but I'm done, finished everything, and I had some freedom for, well, almost got family coming in next week. A slew of them, and then after that, I'll have freedom again. So item 6 Orchard Court, looks like they got some like the description, but I love the landscape plans they sent over, was great. The description was nice on here, but the landscape plans was fantastic. Really appreciated that. So any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, I like the drawings.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, a great improvement, but that's just my opinion. If we don't have any, how about, can I get a motion?
I move to approve.
Okay, that's Daniel. Okay, I will second it. Oh, too late. I already did. Can I, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, item number 14 is 3 Austin Creek Lane. It's a paint, and I had a no on here, and I usually don't comment on paint. Why did I write no? Oh, that's why. Okay, so you guys' questions, comments, or concerns, because I am not good at paint. I've said that numerous times. I am not a fan of trying to help people pick out paint, and I just do not like this contrast at all. It's not subdued to me, and it's just like, boom, but that's just me.
Yeah, I thought it was too white. You know, there's too much
Yeah.
of the white. I don't know if it were a little more subdued. They say they're using a white, but I don't know what color white they're going with.
Yeah, I would like to know which white, because I think this is just a bad print. I mean, nothing's ever gonna look that white. I think they just did a bad Photoshop job to show us what it's gonna look like. But
Okay.
I don't have a problem with the contrast as long as that white is approved, an approved color.
Yeah, because the way that looks, that is, okay, I agree. So, and I hope you're right, Daniel. I hope it is just Photoshop, like you said, the way it looked, because that was starking to me. I was like,
Yeah,
stark.
I agree. It's just a bad a bad Photoshop job, I think.
Okay, so then
Just
the
whiter than the paper.
it is. All
But
right, so are we
the whites are-
denying?
The white.
I would
is-
like to see what the white is. If it's an approved white, I would approve it.
Okay, so we're gonna defer until actual paint, what samples are given, or how do you want to?
I would be okay with any approved white. So if they want to if we put a notation in there that it's an approved white. Because I think that's what, peppercorn on there too, the black? Is that what it said?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, there it is. There's the peppercorn,
Yeah,
yeah.
peppercorn, is that what they're saying they're using?
Yeah. Which I see all the time. Everybody's using it for some reason.
Where do you see peppercorn?
It's in
No,
the,
actually, it's
I
approved
think
colors of
peppercorn
black.
is on the trim, you guys,
yeah,
but they want black on the body on the left side.
Yeah. And see,
So you
black-
don't have the black or white color.
yeah, we don't have that, and that's the main color of the house, black or white, and we don't know what they want, and it just says Sherwin-Williams color listed as peppercorn. Black and white, and the Sherwin-Williams listed as peppercorn. All right, so we want to know what the black and white is. We need to know what, that's what we're gonna do, defer until we know what the black and white is. Does that sound fair?
I have a comment.
Yes, please.
There's a house on Jubilee Lane that was just painted all white with a little black trim. And I don't believe that was approved. Kind of looks like what these people are asking for.
That's a question for Diane, and then, then you should actually just email Diane and send her that question and give her that address, and then she could look that up later and say, yes, it was approved, or no, it's not.
Okay,
Because we do so many addresses and so fast that I do forget. I mean, I know the address and the street, but I can't remember what it was for. You know, like Joanne sent me a question about one, and what'd you guys think of this or that? And because a homeowner contacted her, and I'm like, I know the address, but I can't remember what the request is for. I'd have to go back and look and.
Which house in Jubilee Lane is that, Joe Jean? Is it like,
you'll have to drive by and see it,
is it like the second one down on the right,
maybe.
second or third?
Maybe. Might be, Patrick, it might not be.
So do they need to resubmit with the approved colors, or if they come back with the approved colors, are they good to go?
Yes, so that's a good question, Diane. So yeah, if anybody out there listening wants to use the approved SVCA approved colors on their house, you really don't need to go through the ACC for this, because it's already been pre-approved. So you can go through Diane at the office there with your color selection, and she will let you know if it's pre-approved and whether you can just go ahead and proceed with your house painting. Thank you for asking that question, though. But in this case,
That is a little scary, though. If somebody has an approved green and an approved red and an approved blue, it could get crazy.
I agree. I agree. That's why I think we really need to try to have what I'd like to do is we'll get together again and have a little focus group and actually talk about colors again, because we had mentioned that a few meetings ago. Try to get together and focus in on creating a nice list for people to actually use and specify this is body, this is trim. And I think we should really do that. It'd be very helpful for people, and then we'd be comfortable with them going down and selecting. We know we wouldn't have crazy stuff going on. But yeah,
if I can suggest too, Keith, like in the past, we've I wouldn't say streamlined, but as long as it's got support of the neighbors across the way, we used to approve based on the selection of standard colors, but then also not opposed by your neighbors across the way in writing, right? Then we don't need to go through the formal process here, right, to approve. So as long as those two criteria of using standard painting chips and then also getting written approval by your neighbors that they don't object, then we're fine. The only time we get involved is if it's opposing and then it doesn't meet any of the standard paint chips.
Yeah.
Well, I think this would warrant another discussion if we can get together and talk about this, because there's a lot of color combinations that are a little different from what we're used to seeing, which I think I like a little experimentation. So I'd like to provide some more guidelines for people to do that and to avoid catastrophes.
Yeah. Well, it was an approved color. Yes, but not an
Right.
application.
10 different approved colors.
Yeah, all in one house.
Yeah.
I'm making a statement. Oh, great. We shouldn't say that. Someone might do something stupid like that. Okay, so this is item number 14. So the motion on the table is going to be defer. The only approved color so far is a peppercorn, but we don't even know where that's going, right? So we really need to know. Based on the photo, it looks like it's going on the trim. But we need more information. So what's the black going to be? What's the white going to be? Where are the colors?
It's not enough just to say white and black.
Yeah. All right. So that's the motion on the table is deferred. And who made that motion? All right, I'll make it. Just Keith. Keith will make the motion. Can I get a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, that's Daniel. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Keith, Rich left at 10. He sent me a message.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for that. So that's unanimous.
What exactly are we deferring to?
We're deferring item number 14. And I made the motion. Dan seconded it.
But what are they looking for? We want approved colors? and
We want, well, we don't, it cannot be approved colors. They don't have to use approved colors, but we want to know what the colors are. They can't just say black or white. So we want to know what it's going to be, if it's going to be Sherwin-Williams or what it's going to be. And then if it's something different, we can look it up on computer. So they don't have to Photoshop. But even that's hard because monitor colors, you know, it's hard. So we're just deferring it until we know what the black and white colors are.
And their location on the house?
Yeah, I mean, we have the picture they sent us. We could assume the location, so. But
Yeah, so just for Patrick's sake, we're looking for the swatch or the paint chips. And then we're looking for the reference markup on the drawing or the illustration.
Yeah, because that brings up a good point. The house body color is 3 different colors. The fascia board is all white, so all the trim is white. The fascia trim, the trim around the windows is black on the white part. The trim around the windows on the black part is white, and then the peppercorn part is the house on the left. It looks like.
And the door looks
door
like
is
they're
wood.
painting it too.
Yeah, so this is either going to be a deferral, which I think we're being nice, or flat out denial. So I think deferring is with more clarification is what we're looking for with samples and chips as Wayne recommended, and documentation on knowing what colors are going where. All right, all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
that's unanimous. And Diane, you got that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was Keith, Daniel, and unanimous, right? Okay, that was item number 14. Okay, item number 15, 17 Cascade Lane, exterior alteration, a deck replacement. Item 15. This is proposed on the property, the residence new construction. Oh, yeah, this is it actually looks like a cool spot. The only thing I noticed for the deck, they may need a variance because at the one corner is only 4 foot off the property line of it. And maybe they intended to be 5 foot, but it was only 4 foot off when I measured it. But we could make that note on there if you guys didn't have any other comments that abide by setbacks or apply for a variance for the 1 foot.
Yeah, that's a good catch. I didn't notice that. But yeah, I would like that stipulation.
Did you go out there and measure that to find that?
I did, yeah. Abide by setback or apply for variance. Yeah, what a great place for a deck, though. I thought, I mean, it just seems so serene right there. Nice little open area. And any other guys, do you have any other comments?
And I guess the only other comments on their site plan drawing, they've got a hot tub there. So they probably
It didn't say hot tub, did it? It didn't say hot tub on there, but that's what it sure looked like to me.
yeah. So they probably need a variance for I guess for structural anyways, because that's going to be put load on that corner of the house, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is, so they didn't ask for the hot tub on here. They just asked for the deck. And I saw that on there, but it didn't say what it was, but I was like, boy, that sure looks like a hot tub sitting there. So I assume they're building the deck, with the appropriate structural integrity to support the hot tub. I assume they have that all factored in.
That's quite a steep cliff to be putting a hot tub on.
It's,
That's why I pointed out the structural loading on there is going to be an issue, right?
And also the privacy.
yeah.
The neighbors would be looking right at them, running around. We don't want
Here we go again with one of those fences.
naked hot tubs again.
Yeah.
I mean, should we just put a note that we're not approving the hot tub, or that's a different kind of application?
We certainly can, because it doesn't say hot tub on there, so I didn't want to make that assumption.
Well,
But
yeah, but they did give us a drawing with a hot tub in it, and
well, it looks like a hot tub.
we have to consider that.
It says on the side profile section 8A, it says hot tub location.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was presented that way, so we have to assume that's
Yeah.
what they're intention
Oh, yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would need another pair of glasses to see that if it said that, but, okay, so, we're gonna buy all setbacks, so we're approving the deck only. And we'll just say that. Approving deck only. And then abide and approving by deck only with the comments of abide by all setbacks and apply for any variance if necessary. If required. Does that sound right?
Well, that doesn't really address the hot tub privacy screen.
It's pretty clear on the drawings that their intent is to put a hot tub, so that's not our call because they're not asking for that approval, right? But you should make the comment that that's not, they need a county permit for that, right?
Well, also, don't we have further than that? We like a privacy, so neighbors aren't looking at them.
We do not have, we don't have anything.
Oh, we don't.
No, not per se, Now we can ask for, we have, there's like screening things we ask for vehicles and for, nuisance items, and I would consider nude people in a hot tub a nuisance item if I was outside with my family barbecuing on the deck.
Well, it depends on the people.
But depending on the people, yeah, you'd have to, I don't know if that's becomes like a civil issue, like you call the police. I don't know how that works, I really don't. That's a good, fair question. I guess we should be asking the general manager here. How issues like that work, but to me, it seems more like that would be like a private issue, you'd be calling the police for indecent exposure or something like that. I don't know.
The only thing that came to mind there, Keith, is when they ask for something like this, is maybe support it with the neighbor's approval, saying they're okay with hot tub on the outside because there'll be parties, right?
Yeah, well, we don't know, but you saw that one that came through like just recently that it's an issue, and the hot tub's right in the view of the neighbors, and it's, the people enjoy it, I guess, in the raw, and the neighbors don't enjoy them enjoying it in the raw. So it's like, it's not a good scenario. So I don't know what we do in, situations like that. Obviously,
Well, hot tub,
privacy screening, but
yeah, I'm looking at it now. It doesn't say anything about privacy for that, but it does require the county plumbing and building permits specifically for hot tub.
Yeah, that's absolutely necessary. And we've had some applications come through here where the county no longer requires permits for certain, because they're making like portable hot tubs now, where you could like roll a hot tub out on your deck and plug it into the wall, and you know what I mean? And nobody's thinking about that. Then fill it full of water with a hose, and no one's thinking of that. What, 7 pounds a gallon or whatever for water roughly. And you fill that up, and what's that's doing to your deck. It's amazing. But yeah, I've had a couple people email me, I don't need a county permit. Why do you say I need a county permit? Well, if you're doing a hot tub like this one, you do need a county permit. So you're gonna have electrical, you are gonna have plumbing and gas, and most likely.
Well, it's mostly for structural load. I mean, if they want to burn their house down and not get proper permits, that's their problem, right? Because I'd hate to be the insurance agent coming on and says, I'm sorry, you burned your own house.
Yeah. So then on this one, so to get back on, so how we want this, we're going to say the deck is approved. We're approving the deck only. So we want to abide by all setbacks or apply for the variance. And we're not approving the hot tub at this time. Is that correct? Is that how we want to say it?
I would say we defer because we don't see any county application for putting a hot tub there, right? Can they demonstrate they applied to put that hot tub there?
No, and they're not. So it's weird because they're not asking for a hot tub on their application. So I can see in the future they may want to put one. And it looks like their intent, I agree with you totally on this one. It looks like totally intent to put that hot tub there, but they're not asking for a hot tub on the application. So we could just say hot tub requires separate application.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
And I wrote hot tube. Hot tub requires separate application. That'll be our second comment. So the first one is abide by all setbacks or apply for a variance. And the second comment is hot tub requires separate application. Or, yeah. Separate application / request, I guess. Okay, who made that motion?
You can say Wayne.
Wayne, okay. Oh, let me write it on here. That's 17, yeah, Wayne. Okay, and I'll second that. All in favor?
I,
Okay, that's unanimous.
And
Okay.
Keith,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and Keith, so where did we end up with asking the general manager on public nuisance stuff? Like, should we also request that the owner or the applicant also get their neighbor's approval written by email that they're okay with this development?
Get what again? Say that again?
Get the neighbor's approval now.
Well, see, that's what I would say we would address when it comes back. Like if they come back and say, yeah, we're putting our application for our hot tub, then that's when we would make that recommendation. Then we need to hear from your neighbors because it is open. They are wide open there, and the neighbors are right across the way, and they're a little bit away, but I mean, they have decks too, right? But the hot tub, nobody has a hot tub there right now on any of the decks that I saw. But yeah, that's a good thing. I do need to Diane,
It sounds
can
like
you
we
make
need a meeting to discuss some of these.
Yeah, I
big,
agree.
Addendums.
I agree with that. I agree. In fact, like I said, so next week I'm out, but the week after that, I'd like to get together. Maybe we do like last time and just all meet together and talk about some of these things and come up with some ideas that might be helpful for the community and, help quicken up the process, I guess, and get some definition on some areas. But I will follow up with Joanne on that. Wayne, actually. Because we do have to find out, is that something we're concerned with, or is that something that, you would contact the police yourself and say, hey, it's indecent exposure type of thing. I don't know how that works, or should we require that, well, we don't have a policy that requires that right now. So maybe that's something we need to address. Okay, gonna move on down to item number 17, which is Sweetwater, 7 Sweetwater Clove. I thought we did that one. No,
No,
guess not.
There was another Sweetwater
Okay,
or Sweetclover.
yeah, that was item 6, the tree removal.
okay, this one, please see attached description or request. The landscape alteration or freight yard for newly purchased home. Wow, yeah, so this one is it's actually all good stuff what they want to do, I think.
Yeah, I actually met this guy at the dog park. He just moved in here a few weeks ago. And he might be, I haven't talked to him about it, but he might be interested in joining us because he's been on HOAs previously.
Wonderful.
these are super, super nice people. I know them because a neighbor was freaking out because they were uprooting all of the plants and they were falling down the hillside. And she was like, I'm sure they know what they're doing because they're very nice, but we need to look into this. So it was a whole thing. And when I talked to them, it seemed like they were upgrading what the builder had put in there to stop erosion and that they knew what they were talking about.
That was my impression also.
Yeah, sure sounded like it from their letter they had written in here. Like, oh, they got great. I need to call them over here to my house. Tell me what I need.
Yeah, I met him about a week ago or so. And then subsequently I saw that he was on our agenda, and I remembered what he talked about and how he had planned to put a Japanese garden in his space. And it all sounded good. And then I saw this, and based on this, I don't have any issues with it.
I think he knew you were going to be there and he tried to get into it.
Yeah, he followed me.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I move to approve.
Okay, Patrick, you got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Is
So-
that, any opposed?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just one note though for the
Yep.
team. So if you look at that slope there, right? I don't see any retaining wall. Do you guys see any retaining wall? Like it's steep, it's eroding.
On the side there.
Yeah. Like where he wants to put the junipers, right?
Yeah.
Like if he plants those junipers, it'll take a few years before the junipers will get rooted, right? But just to protect the neighbor down just below him there. But anyways, you might like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Retaining wall might
It-
better choice structurally, like.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from these images if it's actually required, but I would definitely suggest it.
Well, see, that's something we're supposed to be watching when we're on these new builds, because a lot of them got by without retaining walls, and that's something we tried. I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago, I guess, trying to be more sticklers on, was trying to get builders to put retaining walls in where they're required. And there's a property that we just looked at. Actually, I thought it was on.
Yeah,
here.
we haven't looked at that one yet.
Yeah, lots.
21.
Yeah, that's coming up. So that
Yeah.
retaining wall, the one they're asking for in the front, yeah, that's all great. They add for parking, but they really, I think they're supposed to have one in the back, and we're gonna ask Diane when that comes up to check on our comments when that build went through. But the back of the property is almost sitting in the dirt. You know, and it's steep. It's like an incredibly steep hill, and you know, it's like a 3-story house, and on the 3rd floor, when you're looking out the top window, you're still looking at the slope. You know, so it's just amazing. There's a tree that needed to come down. It is going to come down at some point. It should come down. The sewer line's exposed. So those things now try to put a retaining wall in there is going to be hard, but that's tough. He missed it. And I believe it was on the comments originally. And even if it wasn't, it's something the builders are cognizant enough. They know they need to do it. It just costs money. And they don't, you know, they can sell these houses. They're selling them, right? So they're just building them and selling them. So we need to kind of watch that stuff ourselves, you know, better. And I know Joel's doing a good job, but we need to start looking at like Wayne's good at looking at the site plans and noticing the contours of the elevations, because if retaining walls come up, then we need to shout out, hey, we're going to require a retaining wall be put in here.
Do we do a final walkthrough when they finish the construction?
Yeah. So Joel does. So I went on
Okay.
Joel with only one on Topper, one of Sergey's. Yeah, I think it was Sergey's, and we went on that one, and we found a couple issues with that. But so I went out before, like years ago when I first moved here, with the construction advocate then, and they were getting by with things here. Was amazing. So I didn't take the job. I was going to do that job, and they were getting by with leaving trees in like weird locations. I thought was a problem. Not putting retaining walls in. The slopes were way greater than 2 to 1, and our policies call for retaining walls. They were getting by with not putting them in. It was horrible. And so the builders don't pay, right? They sell the house and they're out of the loop. And then the homeowner, 3 or 4 years, all of a sudden he's dealing with erosion problems and dead trees that are now final dying and falling over, and that weren't removed and were supposed to be. So that's stuff we can help our community members out by making sure this stuff is being done right to begin with. Sorry about that speech, but just that's going to feel like our part of our deal is, you know, is to watch all this stuff. And, you know, these are all our community members, and we need to make sure these houses are being done right and being left, that they're going to last for a while for the new homeowners, you know. But
Yeah, we can talk about that when we get together.
Yeah,
you know,
sorry.
Sort of issues that, but I mean, you can take a look at, I mean, you just look at the side view slope where the guy's marked up where
yeah,
he's planting the junipers. It's clearly, you know, 6 to 1 slope there, right?
yeah.
Like-
So where's the required retaining wall, right? And we should have said that you need a retaining wall there. But we did.
The junipers may be a mitigation plan for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they
In lieu of a
indicated.
wall.
They indicated the junipers, they were doing that on purpose to stop the erosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I-
what
I
we're
don't-
saying, yeah, what we're saying is the junipers will take 2 to 3 years to get to the deep rooting, right? So in lieu of that, they should be considering a proper retaining wall, because if I was the neighbor down below and saw this looming building up above me that has no retaining wall, I'd pretty much be concerned the next time we get a huge rain and that house starts rolling or sliding down, right? But we're dry now, right? So, you know.
Yeah, fortunately. All right, so the where am I at here? Teens. All right, so what's the motion on the table?
You already approved and motioned and seconded and unanimous, but can we add to it after you do that?
Item 17. Oh yeah, we're done, huh?
It seemed like we would just add a suggestion to
We
look at
did.
that.
We hadn't too many suggestions. All right. All right, so we're on to item 20. Is that correct?
So am I adding a comment that you suggest to add a retaining wall or not?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's always good. I'm sure they're aware of that. And if Wayne wants that, we don't certainly mind you adding that comment, Wayne, if that's what you'd like to do.
No, the intent there, Dan, is to mention that the next time we run into this owner and we extend invite to be part of the board.
Yay. All right, item number 20, 1 Hollyview Way, exterior alteration paint request.
I'll move to approve.
That's Joe Jean,
Wayne to second.
and that's Wayne. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Okay, item 21, Lost Fork Lane. Construction change request retaining wall. So they want to add a retaining wall in the front of the property, add some parking.
Yeah, this is what we looked at last time. And we needed more topography information.
Yep, so while at the site, it's kind of odd. So I'm kind of okay with everything they want to do in the front, right? I get the idea and the need for it. It's an odd, horrible house, right? Location, just because it's steep and everything else like that. But in meeting out there, so I was like, oh, this is just me talking here, my opinion. So I was okay with what they want to do in the front. Of course, it needs Sudden Valley approval and whatnot, but I was okay with the idea of what they want to do and why they need to do it. But at the same time I was there are other issues to me that are bigger and more looming than there's retaining and parking wall in the front. Is the right rear of the property. It looks like it's almost in the dirt. It needs retaining walls at the rear of the property. That's evident just by looking at it. And I didn't climb up there, I'll be honest. I looked at it from the street and it's way up there. It's hard to see, and I didn't take out my little binoculars to look. So maybe there's a foot or so clearance before the dirt, but it's bad in the back. There's also a huge tree on the right. There's also the sewer line exposed from the neighbor's property up above that comes down, that apparently one time went through his lot. So he extended it past his lot and down the side of the house, but it's still all exposed, and it's right where that tree is at. So that tree, in my understanding, so Diane, I was going to have you review and see our previous comments on this when this was approved at 21 Lost Fork Lane. I swear he was required to put a retaining wall in the back right-hand corner of that property. And I thought it was a request that came from the ACC committee at the time, but I could be mistaken. But it's an issue now. So I need you to check into that, or admin, whoever you have, look at the archive stuff. I need to find out if retaining wall, and I believe that tree was supposed to be removed. I thought that was a comment we had made too. And neither was done. And then the existing ditch in the front of the house, the swale right now is destroyed, right? From construction vehicles and whatnot that have been in there. That's destroyed and it's not working. There was no Sudden Valley address signage on the property whatsoever that I saw, unless I just didn't see it. You know, normally you have the sign, it's construction, the address, who it's building by, and so forth. And I didn't see any of that stuff. So, you know, like I had one good thing, yeah, I could approve what they want to do in the front or be okay with what they want to do or see the need for it. But then I had 5 negative things about the back of that property that needs to be addressed.
It looks like there's quite a retaining wall back there on this drawing. Is that what that is?
That's what it's supposed to be. Joel, that ain't there, is it? That retaining wall can't be there.
Right, so, yeah, I'm aware of this too, and I actually have an email drafted right now. There's the retaining wall, says, I don't know if you can see it, it says retaining wall 6 foot max height behind the house. It's, so this is on the plans. The tree you're talking about is over here on the right
Yeah, it's
side.
gotta be that one, yeah.
I can try to find some other plans and zoom in for you. It does have an R on it, so indicated for removal. That tree is existing currently, last time I was out there. So we met with the builder and Lake Wacom Water Sewer District so that they could talk about how to resolve. There's the sewer line issue coming down the side of the property, and specifically that rear corner. But to answer your questions about the retaining wall and the tree.
The retaining wall is in?
Not since I was out there last.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was in. I was like shocked.
No, it is proposed here on the plans, on the approved plans to be there, but it didn't appear to be, it wasn't installed.
All right. Well, now they're gonna play hell trying to figure out how to get a retaining wall up there now. But that's a problem, man. That's a massive slope back there. So and also that tree has to be removed. That's exactly a good example of what I mean, like a builder leaving something they're going to sell it, and then the homeowner buys a house, and then all of a sudden they have this massive erosion problem in the back because it wasn't built properly. The county apparently isn't going to catch it either. The county didn't care, Joel?
For the tree or the retaining wall?
How about the retaining wall?
I don't know if the county has been out here to inspect the absence of retaining wall. I was with the Lake Wacom Water Sewer District, who's just looking at the sewer connection pipe to try to resolve that issue.
Wow. And that tree still has to come down. So in this case, so it's kind of weird. So Joel, and I haven't done this before, and this is something the admin used to do. So we'd go out and put a stop order, but it used to be like, you know, the older people, the people that used to be here. I know we haven't done that in years now, at least 2 or 3 years, but we could actually put a stop order on a house, stop notice until other issues are addressed. You know, but this house has been a problem for a long time, you know. So I guess so. It's kind of weird. Like I said, I got the application here for what they want to do in the front, and I was like, all right, I can see the need for what you want to do and why you need to do it or would want to do it. But at the same time, there's all these massive, to me, huge looming issues that need to be addressed before they move on with anything.
So Keith, as a suggestion, not to dwell on something that's missing here, like, do we just defer and ask the owner to show up and explain? It sounds like we keep judging this house, but there's nobody to represent it.
Yeah, is this Vitale?
Yes. And
It is Vitale's house. Yeah.
I think he's still the contractor. He's working with Axe. I think it might be under new ownership. But yeah, Vitale was the builder.
Okay,
Right.
I'm not opposed with that, Wayne.
Yeah, so just rather than keep spending time on this, it's obvious they are not following the rules, right? So just defer it and then just say, look, we're not making a decision until you actually show up and explain where all these things that we approved previously are actually there, right?
Yeah.
We can't see it on the site drawing. I see it on their sketch, but I don't see it on their site drawing. And secondly, where's Axe Engineering in this whole thing, right?
Is Axe their partner on this one?
Well, they sealed the drawing, right? And I don't see the retaining wall in it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I believe Axe joined partnerships on some of these projects, actually as a partner builder with the builder. And so that can, you know, of course you have to watch that, because now you're both saving money. So you're
No,
just-
but there's an engineering seal here. There's a Aaron Russell that stamped this drawing, right? So where's the retaining wall? Like, how are they protecting the new owner or whoever's buying this house that this property won't slide, right?
Yeah, but so that picture you're looking at right now, is that a stamped engineer drawing?
The site plan that I'm
Joel?
seeing, yeah,
Yeah, that site plan on the screen.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
It says Aaron Russell, State of Washington, structural engineer.
Yeah, nice. Okay, good question. Yeah, there you go. So then, okay, I'll go with that. We need this guy to show up and explain what's going on.
Because they obviously drew it on the sketch, but then if you look at the site plan, where is that retaining wall?
How are you seeing different things? That's what I'm wondering.
Okay, so on the application, it says copy on it, right? There's a retaining wall in the back of the house, right?
Yeah.
And a tree. And then if you go down to the site plan, I don't see where the retaining wall is behind the house.
What are you on? What are you going down on that you're looking at?
I'm looking at the PDF, right? It says Axe Engineering stamped drawing. That's the packet I have from.
Page 3 of 3.
Yeah, you guys don't see that? You don't see
No.
the stamped engineer's plan? Item 21, page 3 of 3.
You may be, they may be working with an older version. I know the version they presented to Sutton Valley for ACC, for his ACC approval, was the one I showed you that has the retaining wall in the back and that treated.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the packet that Diane sent yesterday. It doesn't have it.
There's no retaining wall on it. You're right. I see what you're saying now. No, I see 3 of 3 here. I thought you were looking on a computer screen or something. And I know I do see that one. Yeah, and there's no retaining wall on it.
And it's stamped and sealed by the engineer.
And what about the one that showed the retaining wall? That one's stamped and sealed by the engineer as well, right? Joel, the
Nope,
one you
it's
pulled
just
up? The one Joel had on the screen.
okay. Show Joel's again.
Okay.
Is that one stamped and signed, right, Joel? That's a submitted plan.
Where's the stamp?
See, there's a retaining wall. That retaining wall is not there as far as I saw.
But
And that
that, but
slope
this,
just continues straight up, right off that house. It's horrible. Is that plan is stamped? Oh, you got pictures. Nice.
There's a photo from behind the house.
Thank you very much. I was too lazy to climb
There's
up
the
there.
tree up there. You can see the sewer pipe.
in California, that house is sliding for sure.
Yeah, is that retaining wall really sufficient to hold back that mountain?
It's like,
Well, it's supposed to be engineered, right? It's engineered retaining wall, so.
maybe that's why it's not stamped.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And look at that
Just-
dirt right up against the house, like almost.
Yeah,
Just one rain for a sustained 1 inch per hour will that house will slide. It's like- so go back to Joel's drawing there. It's not stamped, right? I didn't see a stamp as you was flipping through it.
Yeah, no, this was, I think, before
You're
Act was
gonna-
involved with the property also.
Okay, so this is an earlier submittal is what you're saying there, Joel.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the packet that Diane sent definitely does not have the retaining wall.
Yeah, so the original, so Diane, you're catching this, the original package should have been approved with requiring the retaining wall and the tree to be removed in that corner. And we need to verify that was one of the conditions of approval. Because we need to document, apparently, like very well, that these people aren't following the rules, and we need to document every violation they have broken. Because we're facing opposition from them, like last time we said we don't want you to build more because you're not finishing the houses you've already started. And so now they're fighting that. Well, we want to start more anyways, and they're, you know, trying to get legal involved to go against our decisions, you know, our opinions that we don't want them building more. So we need to document this stuff and say, here's the reason why. You guys got approval to build a certain way and you're doing it a different way anyway. So, and we can do things like we can have more fees, and we can pinpoint. I know Rich said, oh, we can't pick out a certain builder to charge more fees than other builders. That's not true. We can. I've read the policies. We certainly can. We could double the fees on some builders, triple them if we wanted to. We could also ban a builder from building here. So it takes some doing and good documentation, but that could be done as well. And this guy's had numerous violations, but I believe numerous of them haven't been documented. You know, they've been talked about and verbally with him, you know, and need to do this and correct that, and they're still doing it anyway. So we need to really document this stuff. This is what a compliance person should be doing, you know.
So when were those pictures taken there, Joel? Like the other day, recently, or?
That was, let's see, I think it was July.
So pretty recent.
I think 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
boy.
I was out there yesterday.
Oh, boy, you guys, you won't believe this, but back in July 22 of 21, the house was approved conditionally. Karen moves to deny or defer. Bruce moves to do a conditional approval with stipulation about meeting concerns with retaining wall. Avoid black garage door. Keith seconds it, unanimous. That's what the notes say. 2 years ago.
So it's an old issue, Keith.
Yeah, well, it should have been there. The retaining wall should have been there then.
But it's interesting, right? We're looking at the latest packet, right, that Diane sent yesterday. It definitely has the engineer's stamp, but no retaining wall. So how'd they slip that one?
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting that the initial application with that just cavalierly drawn retaining wall that's at an angle. I mean, that's a pretty cavalier approach to this enormous problem. I mean, obviously we're now seeing engineered drawings, but they were asking for approval last week with this drawing. That's a huge issue. And I mean, if there is a stop order that we could apply to this, I mean, it seems like this is a good case for it.
I agree.
Well, normally the normal, yeah, I don't know. I'm a licensed engineer, and I can tell you that if you see something, you're supposed to report it to the engineer, right? And obviously the engineer wasn't given the appropriate information back in 2021 before they stamped it. So obviously they stamped it without the data. They're relying on the data, and obviously somebody should report it to the engineer, right?
So are you going, since you're licensed, are you going to contact this engineer?
Well, I don't want to be liable. So I'm not gonna,
Well, you're just gonna,
like the point is that in 2021 there's data that already pointed out the fact, right, that information should have been briefed to the engineer before they stamped it, right? So all we can do at this point is not approve this, right? Defer it until the engineer has another review, and to show on the stamped drawings that they actually approved it with the retaining walls. And then you could pull information back in 2021, because that would help the engineer, right? Because obviously he stamped it or she stamped it. It looks like it's Aaron Russell. I can't tell gender, but they stamped it without knowing, right?
mm-hmm.
I
And
believe he might have been at the last meeting, Aaron.
I believe Jay was at the last meeting at least. Jay and Aaron both worked for Axe, but our partners. It may just be that the plan that was submitted with this packet, it doesn't have all the details of the original plan set. And, the layout of the roof and the wall lines look just like a box. There are some differences. I mean, you kind of reshare my,
But it's interesting. So we had this same thing happen on, this is Vitale's. and
Yeah, the drive.
The one on Topper we went and looked at, and he was missing the retaining wall on the side of that house that was supposed to be there. So it's like a common occurrence with these builders. Let's not put retaining walls in because again, it's pricey. But
yeah,
neat.
no, I think, there's other changes here. You can see like the driveway is different. So there's been some changes in these plans. I think the one that was submitted for this meeting, the house is just kind of sketched in there as a placeholder and doesn't have those details. It's probably just given, and the engineers, from Ext, who do a lot of the stormwater here, have modified some things, so that I can see that the stormwater placements has been moved. Anyway, there are changes here that are happening without. Looks like it's happening without prior approval.
Well, like I said, back in the day, like Susie would have already been out there, would have had a stop notice on the house. We just don't have that in place right now yet. But yeah, it would have probably already been done. It would have been a stop order. The guy would have been at this meeting to explain what's going on. So I agree with Wayne. Then on this one, we're gonna defer until, I believe him and the engineer should be at the next one. The engineer is a partner now. He's been on a couple of these now, so I don't know why he couldn't be here at the next meeting to kind of explain this. Or maybe he's going to go out there and go, crap, we do need to put a retaining wall. So Wayne, why isn't the county wouldn't demand a retaining wall?
I don't think they presented based on what we're discovering here is somebody submitted whatever will get the first pass from the county, right? So whatever Joel sent as the submitted plans, it definitely has a retaining wall, right? But what the engineers stamp, I mean, it doesn't coincide with what the intent was, right?
Yeah.
That is the deferment, right? That's what we're deferring. We're saying none of the plans align to one another. So what is it, right? We need the owner to come in and explain, are you following your submitted plans? Are you following the engineered stamp plans? And where's the retaining wall? Why did you remove it? Because their sketch is saying one thing, their site plan is saying another, and then Joel just shared the submitted plan, which is totally different.
Yeah, and then Diane just said what was approved through the ACC was a retaining wall was mandatory, and yet it's not there. So again, but this is the same guy who came to the meeting before and said, I forget what you guys approved. Can you tell me what colors and how it was designed? You know what I mean? It's like, why are we telling you? You should know this stuff. You should keep track of what was approved for your projects. I'm not your project manager. So it's just, so anyways, the motion on the table is defer.
But I'm not exactly sure what they're asking for in this, that they can put up a retaining wall or?
Well, they're talking about something. So the application came through to put a retaining wall in the front of the house. So what they want to do is make some parking area and retain the front of the property. Which when I looked at it, it's like the house next to it on the left. So as you're looking at the front, the house on the left has something similar to what they want to do.
Right.
And sent a little picture how it would look. And so I was like, okay, I can understand that. And I think it would look aesthetically pleasing. It would be okay. And I was okay with that. I was like, but SCBA is going to have to be involved because it's in the right of way and stuff like that. But then looked at the back of the property and the sewer line and then no signage. And then all of a sudden these, to me, violations notices popped up in my head going, why am I sitting here to approve something cosmetically pleasing in the front and yet somewhere structurally necessary and the back of the property and all these other violations? It made no sense to me. So
we're beyond what this request is and looking at other things on top of that.
Yeah, we've gone, the request was just for the front retaining wall. We've gone.
Well, it's one further behind the house too, but I'm not sure if that's even relevant.
they're not asking to put one in the back of the house right now, are they?
No, no.
Yeah,
So
well-
Keith,
Okay.
Keith, if you look
Yeah.
at the original application, right? Their error or their omission, they threw in that retaining wall in the back of the house and we caught it, right? So all throughout this review, and then when up to the point of Diane sending the last packet last night, I compared them and I said, oh, okay, so where's the retaining wall on this site plan, right? And the engineer stamped it without it. So where is it?
That's
Their omission or their error is because they put it on their original application. Like we didn't even have to look at it, right? But the fact that they threw it in there, and then we're trying to match the drawings, and we're saying, well, okay, well, where's the retaining wall? Where's this angled retaining wall, right? It matches the contour line, right? It's aligned with the contour line. Is if you put their original application up against their site plan, the angle, it aligns the alignment of the contours, right? It's on an angle compared to the house. So their error in this application is they threw it in for us to review. So now we're reviewing, we're saying, okay, where's this retaining wall? And now that you got the engineer stamped, the engineer obviously didn't know about this. So the engineer's at fault too, right?
Yes, yes. So here's our dilemma, or not, the problem is, so their application, so what we're finding, the violations with the retaining wall and stuff in the back. Oh, I guess you're saying it does have to do with this because they put it on their application.
Yeah, because they're asking us to review it, right? That's the way I look
I see what
at
you're
applications.
saying.
You're asking me to spend the time to go review your application. So I see a retaining wall on the back on the original application, and I see a retaining wall on the front. And all we've been talking about is the retaining wall on the front, which is okay to me. But the point that they said they put a retaining wall on the back, I don't see it on the site plan. And the worst part is the engineer stamped this.
Yeah.
So it's a confusing application. So we want the owner to come back, because we're deferring it until they explain why aren't the drawings all, and why isn't it aligning here? Like, what are you telling us? What are you applying for?
Yeah, I would recommend that. We'd like the builder and and it might be the same, the engineer at the meeting. Because the builder will just say, oh, I don't know, and then, it'd be great to have them both here. So Diane, that's going to be the recommendation then. So we're going to defer and ask for the owner and the engineer to be here at the next meeting. Is that correct, Wayne? Make sure I got it right.
Yep. To explain their drawings, like which one is the official submitted drawing? Is it the one without the retaining wall, and why has it changed, and why is the engineer stamped this one and not the other one? And why is it different from the 2021 submittal?
Yeah, and why was our approved, what our approved plan showed that retaining wall, and our comments wanted the retaining wall in there, and yet it was done without it. So he's got a lot to answer for. So so that's the motion on the table by Wayne. And can I get a second on that?
I second.
And that's sorry.
Like the if you want to compare this application to that one where the person, the owner of 4 Strawberry Lane was trying to enclose their backyard there, or their in-law suite. I mean, it's as steep as that one, right? Except those guys actually, that owner actually went and got a proper engineered drawing and structural, right?
Right.
A big difference.
Right. Yep. Okay, so that's all. And so that was a motion on the table, and that was by Wayne, and then Daniel seconded it. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, that was 21. Okay, on to our last item, number 22 is 22 Lost Fork Lane, exterior alteration request, replacing their roof. And so this is another one. I was thinking that they didn't need to come to us anyways, because there are approved roof colors for shingles already, as long as they're Class A shingles. And I think it's like charcoal, gray, and black are already like pre-approved colors. This is item 22. And I believe they wanted The black one. That was at the color storm gray. So this would be an approved color. So anybody have any questions or comments or concerns about it?
Where do I find that list of approved roof colors?
And it should be in the ACC. There's like 3 colors that are approved.
And are they actual colors or are they
Yeah.
just descriptive colors?
No, it says Class A, like Class A roof, and it has to be like charcoal, gray, and black, I think are the colors.
I didn't know, sorry.
No, it's fine. Because half the stuff I run across here and there, but somewhere in there it had it.
Storm gray.
Where do you
I'll
see
find
it?
it.
You're seeing it somewhere. Oh, this one, yeah. So you guys have any questions on this one? Any issues?
No. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay, that's Daniel. Who's gonna second it?
Second,
Okay, Patrick. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. All right, and that takes care of our meeting today. We're gonna adjourn the meeting at 10:59. 10:59 a.m.